The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's Platinum Success Training webinar with your host, Todd Walters.
Thanks, Andrea. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, back from the Millionaire Agent Maker meeting. So I'm not using the word conference because a meeting sounds mandatory. Conference sounds like it's optional. But it was a multi-day off-site business planning and strategy meeting. And based on feedback and comments that I've received and coaches have received, overwhelmingly positive as our best, most successful event. Had great comments on production quality as well, speaker content and emotion that was put into the thing. So I agree, but we put these meetings on, not for ourselves, okay? So the last thing that we need is another meeting. Craig Proctor, Todd Walters, anybody else associated with these things. We do it for you. So what makes them really good, you telling your coach, you telling me through these webinars and through feedback systems of what it is you most want help with, okay, most want help with. So, and when you kind of break it down, let's say it's 3 days, okay, and let's use this 8 hours a day, okay, so, and let's take a couple of hours off for whatever, it's 8, 16, and 6. Okay, you guys see that? So 8 plus 8, 16, because we go all day long on these things, right? And you need to throw in another 6 hours for the third day. Okay, you're talking, that is a lot of hours, man. Mucho hours of training on the system here. I'm just running through my head some of the speakers that got up and shared what was going on in their business, what was working, mistakes made, other things like that. So really proud of everyone that made an attempt to attend. As a percentage of all of the Platinum members, it was our most attended event ever as a percentage of the group. So congratulations to yourself. I want to thank Shai and everybody else to put it on. But look, it's just a meeting. We're going to have many more. And we're going to keep having them. We're not going anywhere. In fact, we feel like we're just getting really started here at helping you progress on towards your heart's desire. So as we get started today, I wanted to share a couple of quick things with you, and then we're going to jump into some discussion on RBID, sales strategy, and getting listings around that, and why it may very well be something that you should look at. So did you get the email that I sent you with the video? So if you didn't, that's a bummer, because I emailed every single Platinum member a very special short email with a link to a video. So if you did not get that, then let me tell you how you can check and see if you're getting emails or not through the system. All right, so here I am right here at craigproctorcoaching.com, okay? And you guys see this message center button right here? I can click on it right there, see? Everybody see this? There you go. Okay, right here, video for you. That was the one I sent with this video that we'll take a look at here in a moment for everyone. So if you're right now on the webinar, you can go to, again, some of you guys are trying to get off your email and pay attention to what we got on our screen. I would recommend you do that. Right here on the dashboard, message center. So if you're a primary Platinum member, okay, if you're not a primary Platinum member, then you may not have access to this, but primary members, there you go. And what I mean by non-primary would be like a partner or an assistant or something like that. So that was the email, is that right? Is that the one I sent, Andrea? Video for you. Have you ever had 30? Yeah. Have you ever had 30 to 50 buyers through an open house? There it is right there. I think everybody can see it. So if you watch the video, what it shows is a home tour. That just one of Rudy's home tours, Rudy Kasuma, and literally there's dozens of buyers going through this house. It's a crazy scene, but this is a typical day in the life of Platinum member Rudy Kasuma in his home tour in use of RBID in the strategy. You show a seller a video like that, it's a good chance you're going to get more listings. So Anyway, we're going to talk about this here momentarily. I know you're pretty excited about it, but if you didn't see the video, I'm just showing it to you now so you guys can click on that, watch that momentarily while on a different monitor if you've got two monitors or while I'm talking to you. All right. So that's the first thing. You do have a message center. Emails that we send you through the system show up there. Okay, and you can check them. There you go. You can see I've got 119 unread messages or something like that I haven't clicked on, and that's probably because we're the ones sending them. So I don't need to read my own messages. All right. So I like that. All right, next. Write this down. If you go to Library and File Library on your computer, I'm going to show you something that we just did for you. Okay. Scroll down to Platinum Referral Systems Library. Right there. Everybody see that? Platinum Referral Systems Library. Yes. Very good. You guys are on it. Okay. And here we go. You can see where we've added the referral marketing newsletter, Homeward Bound, as well as all the templates and scripts for the monthly system for the month of November. They've been added right here. I can get them on my screen, so I'm assuming you have access to them as well. But if you log in and you don't see those, log out, log back in, because it could be a cookies issue. And if you still don't see it, you got to let me know. Okay, because it's been posted for everybody there. And what you're going to discover now, if I was to download this template, is we did change the template of the newsletter that we send every month. And some of you may like it, some of you may not, but there's zoom down here on this thing a little bit. Let's check it out. So there's page 1, there's page 2, page 3, page 4. So similar content, supporting worthy cause. In this case, we're using Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as an example. And but all the same rules apply to the newsletter marketing every month. Okay. So now, if you're new here, let me go back to the coaching site, CraigParcherCoaching.com. This Word, please listen real close. The Word document are all the templates and the scripts for all of the marketing around that month. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Here's the Word doc. I just downloaded it for you. You can see November 2018. Here's what's included in this month's newsletter. Okay, and top 10 tips. It's all right there for you to check out and do. And my freaking thing is just spinning, so we may have too many things open. All right, so I want to make you aware of that. All the scripts, all the templates, they're all there. All right, one quick second here. Let me shift gears and close out my Word document program because I got all hung up with running the webinar. How you like that when that happens, Andrea? It's always great, isn't it? Live television. Okay, so everybody's got that. So there you go. So we talked about our meeting, talked about making sure at the future meetings, and we're getting ready to update the schedule with several coming up around the first of the year. Okay. All right. I shared with you the newsletter. It's up there, all of the information. Okay. Everybody get that? All right. So, and one more thing I want to show you, okay, is an email that I've sent everyone. Okay. And we're going to call this the Working on Your Business System. Okay. So it's not going to make any sense here for all of us to move forward with things that we get here if we don't have a really good system for working on our business. So, okay, these are sort of the rules of engagement that you'll see right here in front of you on this email. If you're looking at a phone, it's going to be really small. You'll be able to see this. But there you go, rules of engagement. Make sure you're sitting at your desk when you do your consults. Make sure on CraigParcherCoaching.com. You got the Platinum first 6 months checklist sort of updated there, right? And you're following the business plan. And here's the info that you need. So primarily your consults are designed to solve issues. So if you're on and off the phone with your coach on a Platinum business growth consult and you're not solving an issue, I don't know if it's the kind of consultation that's going to really move forward and help you quantum leap your business. But imagine solving your biggest issue Whatever your biggest issue is each month, imagine solving that every month. That's a massive accomplishment. So that's the purpose of these consultations. All right. Now, if you want to know where to pull this information down at, you're going to find it at craigproctorcoaching.com in the Platinum Business Plans library. Okay, so if you go to the Platinum Business Plans library, I'm just kind of clicking around here. All right, and you can download the Working on Your Business system. Okay, right there, ID 2091. And it will change the game for you. If you want to know how I took the whole system that Craig Proctor has given us, me personally, long time ago, 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, and worked on it on a daily and weekly basis. That's what I'm sharing with you there. Okay? And it's the same thing that I get titanium members to do when they come to me one-on-one, and it's the same thing we're trying to get you as a platinum member and the coach to be able to do. You just make better progress working from a list of things to do and dedicated time to work on your business. All right, one more tip. You do not have to be the one to implement everything. You're just responsible for it. So engaging others on your team as you bring them on to get them to help you implement Craig Proctor's system in different processes and projects, that's how you make big quantum leaps much faster. Okay. Excelente. You guys are on it, man. All right, so that takes care of a little bit of some of the things I wanted to share with you today. Now, let's go to our bid. And I'm going to walk you guys through a bit of the story. And while we're on it, I'll give you a website address as well. Let's see where I've got that here. So write this down. It's ourBidDeals.com. ourBidDeals.com. This is an exclusive system for platinum members. And it's very inexpensive. And we're not here to sell you anything, but it costs a little bit of money to be able to pull this thing off. So let's go back in time, and I want to share with you guys what this is all about and why. Okay? Now, whether you're in a recession or in a superheated marketplace, it doesn't really matter. The idea is to position your listings to be different. So if I'm a seller and I'm looking for someone to come in and sell my house, or I'm thinking about someone to do business with, I like different. I'm not interested in all things in the same, and I don't really care as long as you're selling my house, right? So imagine having a system to sell houses. You guys are pretty good at having a system to list homes, but what attracts sellers to you? What is tracking sell? What's the magnetic thing that you got here to get the actual seller prospect? Okay. Well, if we go to YouTube and you were to watch the video that Rudy produced, okay, and you look at the lines of prospects that are going through his house, you can see right here in the background is an RBID sign. There's an RBID sign right there in the middle of that screen in the background there. And you will get a really good idea of what an auction effect looks like. Okay? So again, you can go watch the video. I'm not playing it right now, and if I do play it, it's going to jump around on your end. Okay? All right, so I'm not going to play the whole video, but that'll give you an idea of, look at the streams of people coming through the house. Now imagine showing your seller prospects or seller prospects before they become one for you, this kind of collateral, this kind of system that you guys have to offer. What would happen if you did get 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, like Rudy's running here, prospects through one of your home tours that you were featuring? So like, what would this do to your business? So this gets you pretty interested, eh? Yes, I know it's a big deal. So you can Google up the video, you can watch it. Okay, I emailed the link to everybody, okay, that's in Platinum, as I said a few minutes ago. All right, so everybody's got so good demonstration here. Now let's flip it over to my PowerPoint and let me walk you through what this thing is and why and how it all came about. Okay. And where Rudy comes in. And Andrea, if Rudy shows up, let me know. I know we sent a note to him, and he had a training meeting that he was trying to break free with and be available to talk to us on the webinar today. Okay, so here's how it went down. You guys ready? All right, it's 2008. 2008, and I'm going out of business. Okay, so let's make sure everybody understands it. I'm literally going out of business, which means more money is going out the door than is coming in. This is right in the heat of the recession. Okay, getting some background noise there.
I'm actually on the line.
Hey Rudy, how you doing, buddy? Okay, good. So hang on there, Rudy, 1 second. I'm gonna bring you back in so you can tell your story.
I'm gonna mute myself. If you need me, just call.
Okay, good. Thanks, my man. All right, good. So we got Rudy there. I didn't see you on my list. All right. So everybody pay attention to it. We were carrying about 125 active listings on any given day, everyone. Okay? It's a lot of listings, isn't it? Okay, yep, we're selling around 50 houses a month. So doing really well with the Craig Proctor system, making history. Along comes Mr. Recession here in the United States. Okay, it was my third one since I'd been in real estate, right here in Metro Atlanta. But this one was really brutal. Okay, buyers were literally driving by the great listings that we had to go straight to the foreclosures around the corner. I mean, we got great listings. They're great prices. They was driving by them because they just perceived, I guess, foreclosure was a better home or better deal or whatever. So those homes were selling pretty well. But all the other listings around town, not. So our listing inventory, you guys ready, is going from 125, went to 200, went to 250, went to 300. And I remember walking into the office one day, looking at our numbers. We were at 383 active listings. Let me repeat, 383 active listings. Okay. And guess how many corporate accounts we had, right? That was zero, right? No new home construction accounts, no REO accounts or anything like that. This was straight Mr. and Miss Smith, 383 individual clients, right, for my little team. Now, you may say, wow, that's amazing. Well, it wasn't good, right? The listing sales had gone from in the 50s into the 40s into the 30s. And I remember it was 31 closings that month before and a ballooning inventory of pushing 400 active listings. And I called Craig Proctor and I was freaking desperate. Okay, I don't know if I can make payroll. What am I going to do? I mean, it's a problem. He said, well, first thing you do is you got to stop listing houses because you're really good at it. Stop it. And I was like, okay, stop listing houses. I got it. What else? And he said, well, you better figure out how to get these things sold. And what kind of experience do you have in the past? Or, things that work really well. And he was instrumental in helping me draw from some of my previous experiences. All right, so the tour of homes created an auction effect. That was the whole word behind it, right? So we got that one in. And there was one place in the United States of America at that moment in time that was selling every single house. They had no expired listings. All right, let me repeat. There was one place in the United States at that moment in time during the heat of the recession when builders are going out of business, agents were falling like flies. One place, and that was HUD, Department of Housing and Urban Development. They were serving every single house. Now, I had experience with HUD when I first got into real estate. That was what I cut my teeth on. I was selling HUD homes. So I was very familiar with it. And I was like, holy crap, that's all we got to do. At least got to call our listings HUD homes. All right, well, we couldn't do that. It wasn't a legal term that we could borrow or leverage in any way. With Craig's help, basically created a third-party perception of sale system. So instead of calling our listing HUD homes or foreclosures or divorce sales, which were all important things, we just assigned the name RBID. And it was a name that just conjured up out of thin air. It meant like realty bid or some such like that, okay? And so we rolled it out, and I went to a technology company that we were doing business with and had them build this out for platinum members. Platinum members for a small fee could participate and put their listings in. Just to make a long story short, saved my bacon. So went to all the sellers, pitched them the offer of being an RBID home, and walked them through the whole thing. So I'm going to bring Rudy on. I'm going to bring Shai on. I'm going to walk you guys through some of these things. And what I want you to do is I want you to take a lot of notes here and understand that this is a system to actually sell homes. Okay, so before we go there, I'm going to ask every one of you the same question that I asked Titanium members in Anaheim. Okay, you guys ready? Please write this down. Write down the question. Here it is. What would you do if there were no MLS? You list a home tomorrow and there's no MLS that exists, doesn't exist, or it was illegal for you to put it in put your listing in MLS. You got this listing. What are you going to do? So I bet you that you would automatically, in your own mind right now, right? You're coming up with ways in your mind that you would package that property and get it presented to the world in such a way as to sell it. Okay? Your signs would be better. You would run more ads around that particular property. Okay? You would do, you're right. You're coming up with a long list of things that you would do to move that home. All right. If there were no MLS, see, MLS, most real estate agents are conditioned or programmed that when they list a home to stick it in there, and they don't do much marketing. So it's an abdication of marketing. So what you're looking at right here with our bid is the opposite. It is a marketing system. It didn't matter. You could put a home in MLS and it was like it wasn't there in 2007, 8, 9. You guys remember this. It was like it didn't exist. So we had to do better. Otherwise, the homes didn't sell. So we created a third-party perception of sale system, increased the auction effect around the property, and marketed the thing in, I don't know if I can list all the ways that we marketed, but we're going to cover a bunch of them. But the easiest way for me to present it to you is, what would you do right now if there was no MLS and you listed a home and you needed to sell the thing? Okay? As you list out all the places that you would market and advertise it, think this through really quick. What would happen if you actually followed through and did it? Would you or would you not, number one, sell the home? And secondly, have a lot more leads than you have right now, just because you're marketing something and you're having to position in such a way that is super valuable, better than the other homes that are for sale in the marketplace? Would you get more leads? Yes. So that's a great clue for all of you. And by doing this, you increase the demand for you. You increase the demand for you, as we saw from Rudy. Now, I'm going to bring Rudy on. So, Rudy, you there? Bring Rudy on.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so did I get it right? Did I do a good job explaining that?
Yes, I apologize for my background noise. I'm at a hotel for my team off-site training.
Yeah. We can hear you, man. And of course,
okay,
always
good.
appreciate you being engaged in part of the system. And thanks for your help in Anaheim as well. When you were talking about the 3 R's, great job, man. It was awesome. All right. So this video here, I'll throw it back up on the screen. And this is just one. I mean, you've got like 100 videos up here on YouTube. So before we go any further, why so many videos on YouTube for you? What's that all about?
It's going back to what Todd was talking about just now about marketing, right? So now we leverage those videos. It's demonstration of value. So when at the next listing appointments, when we show up to the owner of the house, it's one thing for us to say, I have 30,000 buyers in my database. And then we actually take one more step. We print out the buyers database, proof of funds. That now when we actually show and play the video, then that's basically, it's just a demonstration of value, number one. Number two, YouTube is owned by Google. So when they receive our marketing, when they receive our postcards, when they receive our mailings, or when they see us on billboard, radio, it's many times people heard us on the radio and then they Google us. But they Google. So we want to influence what's the outcome on page 1 on Google. Then, so YouTube, since YouTube is owned by Google, as long as the message is original, meaning you type, you don't just copy and paste, then that video will be most likely on page 1. So for example, now if you go to Google, even if you Google Arbit now, actually you're going to see all of my videos there because the YouTube is owned by Google. So that's how that thing works.
Okay, so that is a big effing gold nugget. Okay, so everybody should write that down. Maybe you don't want to say big effing gold nugget, but you can fill in the blanks on your favorite expletive or fun word. Okay, big fun gold nugget is use of video, and you're right about that. It will increase your SEO tremendously. I don't think your level of commissions are a coincidence in your use of marketing Rudy. Okay, so let's great takeaway if we don't get anything outside of this. All right. So now, how many people actually came through on this video? It looks like a good 2 or 3 dozen.
Yeah, on a typical arbit, it's about 150 to 200 families. So if we do everything
whoa. You said there was 150 or more families that are coming through one of these tour homes when you put them up?
Yes, when you go to my YouTube, you can see this is going on every Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes because it gets too busy, so we do it on like Monday, Wednesday. So it doesn't have to be on Saturday, Sunday. That's my point.
All right, so I'm assuming too that you're generating offers pretty much every time you do this.
Yes, because now every time you do that, let's say 150 people come in, and then typically you receive 20, 30, 40 offers, and then basically when we counter the buyers, we just have to remove all the contingencies. So now when we talk about arbit, it's a certified good deal. Basically, the buyers is going to walk away with a package, and the package will have all the seller's disclosure, will have all the inspection. So when they submit an offer, there is no contingencies. So how it benefits our clients, not only they're going to net more money, they're going to receive the highest price, but literally there is no contingency. And that's important because before, if we don't do that, then the buyer's going to get cold feet because the price really going up, you know. So if we don't do that, then there'll be buyer's remorse and the buyer's going to cancel, basically.
I got you. Okay. So there you go. So I like that. So first gold nugget, lots of video. Second gold nugget, it is obviously possible to produce a real auction effect around homes. Craig's tour home marketing system's been around since I've been associated and connected with him that I know of. All right. And then when we apply third-party perception of sale to this thing, i.e. something like arbid, it becomes a big deal. All right. So let's walk through then this whole arbid thing. So I've got a PowerPoint slide, and if people want to know what I'm looking at or where this comes from, let's go to craigproctorcoaching.com, and the library that you guys are going to want to reference is Platinum Arbid Systems Library. Arbid Systems Library, and I have pulled up ID 300 Arbid home selling system. My phone was ringing. Got my headset connected to my okay, so let's go back to the PowerPoint here. All right, so here we go. So let me run through it, and you guys tell me if this sounds like if this sounds pretty good in terms of selling strategy. All right, number one, creating an auction-like atmosphere. Those are pretty good words. An auction-like atmosphere. Now, Rudy, there are regulations around North America when you use the word auction. Like using the word auction-like. No problem there, but if you're telling people this is an auction, well, there's plenty of states and provinces that regulate auctions and the use of the word auction. Is that right?
Yes, this is not an auction. I mean, I don't know how different states work here in California. Auction requires different license, and that's completely different ballgame. So this is not an auction. In fact, on the website, on the MLS, we say this is not an auction. This is we put arbit homes for sale.
Yep. Okay, so let's just make sure everybody's aware of that, right? Yeah. All right, good. I like that. All right. Now let's look at the next. Arbid homes are certified to be the best deals and best homes available. Okay, so I like that. That's good language. Arbid carries a buyer satisfaction guarantee, so everybody will recognize that. Arbid homes come with a written guarantee stipulating if the buyer's not satisfied, we buy it back. Okay. Arbid homes come with a warranty against defects. Get a home warranty. If something breaks, it's fixed. Buyers don't make offers on Arbid homes. They bid on them, often driving up the price over and above the asking price. And this right here, we'll talk about this one. Cooperating real estate agents get a higher than average commission. We'll talk about that here momentarily. And of course, massive seller benefits as we've just described. So let's run through a couple of these things. A lot of people will be asking about the bid process. So all that is our use of words, marketing words. It's sort of like the buyer profile system or home hunter system. Would you like to receive pictures and descriptions of homes matching your home buying criteria? We know what that is. That is buyers getting regular daily updates of properties matching their home buying criteria that come from the MLS. So all we've done is co-op. Again, we've co-opted a system that is normal, and we've optimized it or proctorized it to have the appearance of exclusivity. Okay, so when you use the word bids, every offer that you get is a bid. It's just a different word for the word offer. So, but it conjures up the image in the prospect's mind of urgency. Is that right, Rudy? I'm assuming, yeah, he's training people. All right. So Rudy's nodding his head in agreement. All righty. So you guys can see there's really nothing on here that you may not even be doing now anyway. And of course, we train you, especially at the OSA workshops and your agents, to package every buyer offer a certain way, to pretend or assume that every time you make an offer from one of your buyers on a listing, to assume it's in a multiple offer situation. And this will make your offers better. So if you assumed that there are never going to be any buyers for a house, or there's no MLS, it's going to make your selling systems and strategies better. And the reason you do it is not necessarily to sell the house, but to generate a wad, a swath, a flow, a stream of prospects. All right, a lot of them. Okay, so there you go. You guys can kind of read process rules and guidelines. Oh, I know what I want to talk about, the commissions. Rudy, if you're there, just weigh in. But what Rudy's having really great success with is playing around with the commissions there. So it might be 0, it may be a higher commission, doesn't really matter. So what we've discovered in today's marketplace sometimes is that no cooperating commission can lead to higher demand from the property. The perception is, the perception is that, oh, this must be a really, really great listing because there's no cooperating commission being offered. Does everybody get that? So it's a perception, and perception really is the driving force whenever you're increasing the demand on something. Okay. Quick example on that. Let's suppose you got a worn out piece of crap looking couch. You pull it out of your house, you put it out on the side of the road, and you write on there, free couch. Okay. Free couch. There's a good chance that people keep driving by. But once you change the price from free to say $100, okay, $100 to the first taker. All right, boom, first guy comes by, drives it, grabs it, and pays you $100 for it. So that's an example of increasing the demand for something, just playing around with pricing. Okay, so we can get into more of that for sure. All right, so anyway, you can see there's a PowerPoint here. There are dialogues. Let's go to what the remarks look like inside MLS, which follow this no matter whether it's MLS or on your own website or wherever you're promoting this, as Rudy is. First of all, it's assigned an ID number. Okay, so quick, easy way to create a third-party perception of sale or increase value, assign an ID number. Okay. How many of your listings right now have an ID number in the remarks? Okay, well, this becomes standard operating procedure for us. And where did the ID number come from? We assigned every listing an ID number because we recorded a script for the USB property tree information line. So we put the script ID as the ID number following every single listing. Okay, so that would be number 2. Number 1 is we're referring to it as an RBID home. That creates a third-party perception of sale. All right, now there's a strategy here. You can see where it says market value, minimum bid. Let's go back to the strategy on pricing. So when we listed the house, let's say that the seller needs to sell this thing for a couple of $100,000 hypothetically. So we go in and list it at $250,000, $275,000, and immediately after it got listed at $275,000 or $250,000 or some high number, then we just turn right around and lower the price to $200,000. All right, so here's what everybody would see. They would see a home that was on the market at some point for $275,000. Now it's $200,000, and people are like, "Oh my God, look at that! It's $200,000, it's $275,000, and now it's $200,000." holy crap, these people must really need to sell. There must be something going on here. So again, it was just a strategy to create a higher demand for the property, right? So you guys can see that. So I'm just walking you through it. There'll be more to it, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. I'll bring Shai on. Okay. Now picture this. This was out there in the yard next to the for sale signs. Sometimes this was the only sign. Okay. And this was a sign we used for years. Okay. And public notice. Now this doesn't work for every seller. Okay. But during the recession, it did work for every seller. But I don't know. Maybe you got a seller right now. He may not want to create this kind of perception around his property that he's desperate or anxious, or it's, you know, a foreclosure. Again, it didn't matter to me. It was just, do you want to sell your house in a marketplace where there ain't nothing selling? All right, but Rudy's in the LA market, homes are selling. Average days on the market's about a couple of months. Okay, but his properties are flying off the freaking shelf because he's creating this auction effect around this strategy. All right. So anyway, we can keep going, and we will discuss more of that. Let's see. Oh, here's an MLS printout from a property that I scanned in way back in the day. Let's see. Awesome RBid home. There you go. There's the, check it out. Market value, $339,000. Minimum bid, $289,000. And you can see when it says open for viewing, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, deadline for bids, Friday at 11:59 p.m. And you can make your bids here, blah, 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 blah. Will be sold. Okay, there we go. So you guys can see a pretty good idea of that. And again, you can download this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through it. Just wanted to get you guys involved in some strategy for creating a auction effect. All right, let's go to the website, and let's bring Shai on. Shai, how you doing? Here we go. Here's the website. Do we have Shai? Do we have me?
We have you, but Shai looks like he was flipping back and forth to his telephone, and he is currently audioless. He should be on right now. Shai?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I disconnected myself for a moment.
It's okay, buddy. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Now, you are the purveyor of rbiddeals.com, so you've assumed the website management and responsibility and all that kind of stuff. So we have quite a few Platinum members now that are advertising properties here. And, I mean, I'll just click on one. Here's one in San Jose. It's Steven. So he's got his properties on here. I like that. I'll just... All right, let's look at a few others. I'm just kind of clicking through this thing. So everybody can go to www.rbiddeals.com, rbiddeals.com, and you can check out the website, okay? So the idea here is to create a third-party perception of sale. So positioning the properties on a third-party website to back up your use of the name of RBid is what makes this work, okay? And literally, people will go on and they'll look at the property. It's not syndicated with MLS. It's manually uploaded, and information is posted. And you can post bids and tell pretty much anybody what you want to do with this property. All right. So Shai, just giving some insight in how this works a bit, and more than what I said, and anything else you want to say about it.
Yeah, so as you were saying, Todd, it's a third-party perception. So what you have is there's a back end to rbiddeals.com where the user goes in, the user being the Platinum member goes in and updates all of the information that's on the site. So they log in and they upload. You can upload photos. You can upload videos of the house. You can upload all the details, as much details as you want, the type of home, when it was built, the type of heating. I mean, it asks you all the questions that you want to update. You can add a video of the house, so you could take your video like Rudy uploading your video to YouTube. You could then take that YouTube link and add it to the property of the house property.
Mm-hmm.
And then below in the description, you can add in all of the information about the bidding process. If there's a showing, you can add all of that below. You can add the price you see down there is so far what the minimum bid would be. 188.9.
So,
and typically,
I'm sorry.
We find that people don't really bid. We find that people don't bid on the site necessarily. It's really about getting them to the showing, where, like in Rudy's video, you see where the people are taking the bids as they leave the home.
Yep, and I saw that. All right, so the website is one thing, and I'm with you, Shai. So let's rephrase it. The website breathes credibility to the process. Okay, but as with selling anything, it's a process, not an event. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take an event like a sales event and build up to it with a strategy. Okay, so I want to make sure everybody understands that. You're not going to throw this thing on our bid and all of a sudden, it just sells because there's all kinds of traffic going through there. It's not how it works, okay? But the site does work provided you're following the process and the strategies process. Plus, no one on this webinar is allowed to use the name Arbid unless you are using the website. That's just part of the licensing arrangement, okay? So we'll talk about cost here in a minute. I'm looking at a listing that Blake has on here right now, and I think some of our members are putting all their listings on it, whether they're, following the sales process or not. Rudy, you there?
Yes, I was about to say people actually bid online, Shai. I think the reason most people don't, because the agent is the one who's stopping it. So for me, I tell the clients when they call in, the buyers, because there's so many. So think about it. Can you imagine 100, 200 people? There are a lot of people. So when I first did this, I get a lot of inbound calls to the office, and there's a lot of these investors and stuff like that. So I asked them, so our ISA team, basically when they call in, we ask them to go to the website to bid. Now, after they bid, let's say there are 200 bids, right? So, or whatever they put in. And then we're going to call based on the number. So, for example, if it's a 700,000 home and somebody bid like 400,000, then, okay, it's kind of like we're going to call them, but we're not going to call them like right now. If there is any suggestion on that site, Shai, maybe we can make like an attachment on the Arbid site. So now, if there's a real estate agent, most real estate agents don't even submit the offer because I put like $0, right? Like $1. But if they do submit an offer, then if we can create like an attachment on the Arbid website, that would be cool. So now I don't have to deal with all these inbound calls from real estate agent, because now they can just submit it. The way the website is set up now, they can only put a number. So I can just put 500,000. That's it. I cannot attach anything.
So there are some PowerPoint slides. Let's look at those, Rudy, for the seller. So if we were sitting down in front of a seller prospect, there's some slide examples for PowerPoint. And as a matter of fact, I think if you downloaded the Platinum listing presentation, these slides are hidden at the very, very, very end of the listing presentation. Okay. But they're again, this is a big deal to increase the demand for your homes. Now, Rudy, before we start looking at some of these and we talk about language, why do you feel compelled to use this in your current marketplace right now?
Yes, it was kind of similar to what Todd was talking about. So I went back from vacation in June this year, June 2018. I came back, and then Fanny, my wife, told me that, hey, we have like 70, like almost 80 listings, whatever. So initially I thought that's good. I was like, okay, we want more listings. We have 80 listings. And then she told me, hey, you don't understand. These listings are over for weeks. Typically, our listings sold in less than a month. Initially, I didn't put much thought into it until I realized, because I heard your story about 300 listing. When I first heard that story, I was sitting there. I was like, what's the problem? I remember I sat there and I remember you told me, oh, you have 300 listing. In my mind, I wish I had 300 listing when I walked in the office. And then I realized in June 2018, the problem with 80 listings not selling is the cash flow problem, because the expense to run the team, the ISA, the board, everybody's on payroll. So then that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I need to get this listing sold, because like, how am I going to pay all these people who are on payroll? So I remember I called Todd, right? I called Todd, and then basically you went through number one, you said you submit an offer, and basically you keep on going on strategy on getting listings sold. And one of the things that's just being thrown in one of those conversations is arbit. So that's the story how I got involved with this.
Yep. So
I'm just trying to sell the homes.
Right. Here's just kind of way it went down. So this is some more gold nuggets for everybody. And I know we're covering some ground here. All right. So Rudy calls me, John Reeves calls, Jim Trail, George Lorimer, you guys out in California there. I don't remember if Blake was part of the phone call or not, but we did a conference call because you guys, some of you guys, were a bit unnerved that the days on market were climbing in California, or at least Southern California. And I was getting a bit tickled. I got to be honest with you guys. I wasn't trying to give you a hard time, but you guys seem to be panicking because your average days on the market had gone from 1 to maybe a week on average, and it had climbed up to like 30 days or some such. And and I'm trying to contain my laughter. I'm like, dude, you guys aren't even normal yet. When it gets to 60 days, call me. But anyway, I didn't say that, but it is a little bit funny, when you're used to years in a marketplace of a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden it changes to 30 days. I get, it's like, oh my gosh, it's taking twice as long. And I get the freak out mode. But what I liked about what you guys did is very proactive, staying ahead of the trends in the marketplace. You jumped on it like white on rice. So kudos to that. So here's how the conversation went down for everybody. Number one, you want to increase the demand for your listings. Okay, there are ways to do that. Number one, you fight the seller on price. Okay, and if they won't lower the price, but they will sell it for less money, find an offer. That would, have somebody make an offer. They don't accept it, but you leverage the offer to get the price lowered to present to everybody else in the marketplace. Okay, so we would have investors. They would make offers. The seller would counter at a lower price. We convinced them to use that new price as a marketing tool to everybody else. That was strategy number one. Strategy number two, reverse offers. Okay, buyers looking at your listings, but they're not making offers on it. Any buyer that asks questions, reverse offer. Okay, so everybody can write that strategy down. And the third one I said was arbit. Create a third-party perception of sale with the auction-like system that Platinum members have exclusive access to for a small additional fee, so you can use the website, and it's relatively minuscule. You could do that. So Rudy, you jumped on arbit, and you've been using that as a tool in your business, and proof is in the pudding, my man. That's a lot of families coming through a house on a week on a tour. 150, I can imagine. There's more than we ever got when we were doing it. So you're doing something right.
If you guys think about what just happened, what you and what Todd created, I mean, this is kind of genius, right? And things actually selling. All of my listings now are arbit, and so sometimes we take it for granted, right, that we are part of this mastermind coaching. But then when things happen, when the market changed, when the market was going up, of course nobody cares, right? When things change like this, I told Todd every time I say him, I'm like, you're a genius.
Well, look, it's a really good point. Not to toot our own horn, but I told this to coaching members in Anaheim, Rudy, at a breakout, and we had quite a few coaching members, become Platinum members there. And I said, look, whatever your issue is, write it down. Whatever your number one issue is in your business, write it down. The solution is at your fingertips. That I can guarantee you. The solution is there. We're looking at one here, sales strategy solution that works no matter what's going on in the marketplace. I just understand the tendency not to get all wrapped up in trying to sell your listings when the average days on our market are really short. But there's a downside to that because we abdicate marketing. We don't leverage the listing to get more business. We just list it, it sells, and then we're looking around like, well, I need some business. I need some business. So I say, hey, well, pretend like there's no MLS. You'll still sell the property relatively quick, but now you'll do a lot more marketing and advertising around it, and this is one of those strategies. All right, so back to Shai. Okay, Shai, this is all pretty interesting. Let's say I want to do this. I want to get all my listings in here, or some of them, or whatever, and use the strategy specifically what we're looking at today with RBID. What is the investment?
The cost to get started is $99 for your first month. There's no setup fee right now. We'll set you up with an account. We'll give you instructions on how to get started. And you can upload as many homes as you want. Mm-hmm. So if you register today, it'll be $99 for your first month, but then your second and third month are free. So for Platinum members joining from today's call, their second and third month are free. And of course, there's no registration fee. Yeah,
here's what's cool about this is it's hours. I'm sorry, Shai. You weren't done.
Yeah, and then it's $99 a month after that, and you can cancel at any time.
Okay, so basically $99. I can throw in as many listings as I want, let them sit there, generate leads, drive traffic to it, give credibility to this system or strategy. Dude, I like the idea, Rudy, of showing up to a listing appointment and having something that nobody else has in the marketplace. You are the exclusive broker, for example, of our bid deals in your marketplace. I like that. It's pretty good. It's, I guess you're doing that now, Rudy. Is Rudy there? He's,
yes.
All right, maybe. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. I mean, are you using that language here or what?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat what language are you referring to?
Yeah. I asked you a question. Like I can see some real value in exclusivity. Like you're the exclusive.
Oh yes, of course.
Broker.
Are you talking about the exclusive RBID brokers?
Yeah.
Yes. We actually, it's all. We did a press release out of it. If you Google RBID homes now, so I'm sorry, Todd. I know you are the creator, but if you Google RBID now, you can see a lot of articles showing that we are Rudy Kusuma is the exclusive RBID brokers here in California. It's gonna be like that all over. And then when the buyers come to our open house, the buyers in my market area, they actually know RBID. Mm-hmm. The buyers actually come in and say, "Wow, this is RBID, another RBID homes that multiple offers." The buyers actually know.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Really, what this is a Craig Proctor Platinum member MLS. That's really what this is. So I like that. Extreme exclusivity. So there you go. $99 a month. You guys can have it and use it. But if you don't want to, it's okay. Nobody's going to, it doesn't, I don't care whether you guys want to do this or not. My point is that, this is a really, really, really great sales strategy and is necessary if you guys really get into a marketplace where things aren't selling all that great. And if you want to say 3 times your leads, then you obviously would move forward with the strategy that, what can I do to generate more leads? Well, just pretend like there's no MLS. All right, what would you do?
And the goal is to work. The goal is to work with buyers who have a house to sell, and this RBID is going to generate, because the buyers come in, right, and they basically drop their agent because they know when they come in, they see a line like what you saw online. They know they actually drop the agent right there on the spot, right? So and then they have a house. The buyers have a house to sell, and then so especially in my marketplace now, I know last time when you think, I mean, because I know from your perspective, maybe the market here is like moving fast, but just like this week, for example, if you look at the MLS in my in a certain zip code, we have 100 more homes for sale.
Yeah, look at this.
So we have,
I can see.
Yeah,
I can see in his YouTube video. She's holding a packet. This is awesome RBID home for sale, right there.
Yes. Think about it. If we have 100, 200 more active listings, then our listing has to stand out. Because if your listing don't stand out, then your listing just blends in just like the rest. So it's the same number of buyers, but there are 100 more active listing. So that's why when I look at shy pricing and stuff like that, I think we take it. I mean, this arbit. I mean, depending on where the market is heading, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if Shy charge a little bit more, then he can improve the website. But I know that's a separate concept.
All right, so let's look at Shy. What's your contact info here if I want to talk to you about this?
You can email me at doneforyou TV. So done, DONE, the number 4, you, the numeral 4, yeah. You TV at gmail.com.
There you go.
Okay, the other thing I wanted to, so email me here, and I can send you a link to the order form that you can get started with our special offer that we're having.
I just like the idea of the exclusivity, being able to tell sellers in the marketplace that you got something that nobody else has. It adds to the experience. So I think that's genius there. And for everybody to do that, small price to pay if you want to be a part of it and use the RBID name. So and look at we'll do there's training on this outside of just our normal platinum webinars that we do, and training on the website. And there's a whole library in the Craig Proctor system as we looked at for RBID as well. Now look at. Again, at the very least, the takeaways today are enormous on strategy for getting listings and selling listings. Okay, if you want more leads, if you want a lot more leads, mucho more leads, that means a lot more, then what would you do if there was no MLS? Like Rudy here moves forward as if the MLS doesn't exist, so he gets a marketing machine. It's not that he ignores MLS, he still uses it, but what would you do if it didn't exist? You would be forced to have to do a lot more marketing and advertising. So hopefully that'll help. Now remember, in RBID come along before when the MLS wasn't public yet. It was still I guess exclusive, if I remember back then. It was around a couple of years after that when we did it. So now that it's public, every home gets listed on the internet, but buyers still feel like they're missing out on the perfect home. So a place where it's hard to find houses that they're interested in, for example, like HUD, Department of Housing and Urban Development, it just means that it creates more demand. The good deals, they're hidden, right? It was funny, Rudy, where's it at? Here we go. Right here on my YouTube list is a video from Glengarry Glen Ross. And it reminds me of that. The good leads are back in the safe. The good deals, they're not here on the internet. They're hidden somewhere else. So it's true, probably true to some extent. So, all right, great stuff there. So Shai, you want to add anything else before we take some questions here about the RBID website and this process and how it all works?
Yeah, just a couple points that Rudy had mentioned. You get when you ask or get your prospects to make a bid, they register an account, and when they register an account, they give you all of their information, contact information, what they're looking for in a home. So all that information is available in the back end, which would be helpful to you. To know what they're looking for in a home,
mm-hmm.
And to share with them other properties.
Like I clicked on post, my bid, and when I do, I've got to log in or create an account.
Right. And so when they create an account, it asks them what they're looking for in a home and other information that can be useful.
So I'll just type in my address here. I'll put in a password. Let's see if it works. I may have already registered as a buyer. And wrong password. So what happens is if you don't have it, I got to register. And there it is. So the buyer gives up all their contact information, clicks register, and I can go and bid on properties and do whatever I want to do. So I like that. So it's a lead generation machine in some respect as well. and of course the exclusivity of it. And we've done a good job, I think, of highlighting the benefits on this. For I'll put up one more time here if you're looking for dialogues when talking to agents or a seller or a buyer. These are some example dialogues. All right, so Andrea, we've got a mountain of questions, so why don't we pick just a few here, and we'll try to deal with them.
You got it. We have a lot of questions asking about our bid in Canada. Some people are saying, you know, they don't see it on the map. Is it good in Canada? Is it legal?
Is it legal? I like that one. Shy. All right, now when we rolled this thing out originally, let me tell you the Canada story. You can see that over here it says map of Canada. So yes, we've got Canadians that are using our bid. I think Marnie was all over this, if I'm not mistaken, Shy. But anyway, when we rolled it out, Canada, there was no recession in Canada. There were no foreclosures when it first got invented. So we were doing it to save the bacon of the platinum members in the United States. Okay. Well, it was so good. Yeah. A lot of our Canadian members just started doing it. And then, of course, we just kind of got involved in other things. We didn't mention much about it until I got the call a few months ago, back in July, from Jim and John and Rudy and those others. And it came back up. And I was like, you know what? Let's discuss this in Anaheim a bit more. And if you guys like the strategy, we'll talk about it on a webinar with all the platinum members. And anybody who wants it, it's there. It's been there, never gone away. But if anything, the strategy around just getting more listings and getting more prospects is, yes, as Rudy said, genius. Shy, any comments on Canada? There it is right there.
Yeah, if they could just change the map, and it's people typically just type in, when they're what they're looking for, like find a property. They will type in their zip code or what they're looking for, and then the closest house or the closest home to their IP address will appear. But again, the way that we're using it is that we're directing traffic to it. So each home that gets uploaded a unique URL is created, and typically we're sending, or the agent who's running the RBID property is typically, so if you click on any one of the homes, Todd, you'll see that there's a unique URL, and then that URL can be populated through social media, through other avenues. You could create a URL. You could register a URL for the address, an RBID URL for the address, and then direct traffic to that from your signage. So we're typically directing traffic to these specific URLs.
Right,
and that's where people are going to be led to.
Okay, so I think too that any feedback that we're getting, I saw an email from Wally Kerr over in Oklahoma, who offered some really good feedback on some improvements to make to the site that would help him and other members as well. Thought that was beautiful.
Of course.
So I want to make sure everybody understands that this is ours, so we can do with it whatever we want to do. Within reason. Shy can make adjustments and things to this site. It's for platinum members who want to put their listings in here and leverage the name in their own marketing or in their presentations and whatever it is that you want to do with it to get business and leverage the business you get to get more. So just FYI on that for everyone. Okay, so yeah, we got that. Canada, no problemo. Next question, Miss Andrea.
Our next question, when they register due to trying to bid on a specific home, will they see all homes in the site, or does it go to the home that they requested to bid on?
All right, why don't we do this? Why don't, if you're interested, I say go to rbiddeals.com and pretend like you're a buyer. Okay, click on, just go to California, because that's where seems to be some momentum around that, and go to any of the listings, any of the properties there, click on them, and try to bid on them. Click around. You'll see, how well or how not well an agent might be using the site. But I want to make sure that everybody understands that putting the listing here does not sell the home. Putting the listing here allows you to create your third-party perception of sale, and your normal sales process has become better. So if I go back to the system, so let's for example, our bid homes are certified to be the best deals and the best homes available. Let's say that you're the agent, okay, and I'm talking to everybody watching this webinar right now. You're the agent. You certify the home to be a great deal. Hey, everyone, I'm the real estate agent. In this home, I'm certifying to be a freaking really good deal. Okay, now, how many buyers out there and other agents in the world are going to get, oh my God, that agent said it's a great deal, we should go? Right, exactly, it's a yawner. All right, but when you come around when somebody else says it, that's like our bid. Well, who's that? Oh, shit, man, they get this, it's a whole system here. These people must be desperate to sell. Somebody else is certifying. It's like an appraisal. It's like an appraisal. How many of your homeowners, make big deals out of appraisals, right? And you're like, appraiser got paid $300 or $400 to tell us what this thing was worth. I mean, he's hardly the expert in it. Well, it doesn't matter what you say. It's all the perception. If the appraiser said the home is worth $500,000, holy crap, it's worth $500,000, according to the seller. Is that right? Yes. Again, so that's what I mean. Let's go to the next point. Buyer satisfaction guarantee. This is something almost every one of you are doing right now anyway. Okay, you're doing this. The problem is you don't market it very well, and you've always wondered how you could market it. Well, you can start by marketing it. If you were to advertise all of your listings come with this guarantee, would it create a better perception of value? Yes. So that's all that is. Okay, home warranties. All of our listings come with a home warranty. Every single listing we put on the market right here at our company in Metro Atlanta, it's got a home warranty on it. It's not a big deal. It's what we do anyway. Okay, well, guess what? Our bid homes come with a home warranty. So if you're a real estate agent, well, wait a second. My homes come with a home warranty. Okay, well, you can see the difference. Third-party perception home warranty versus real estate agent. Wait a second, you get a home warranty. Again, yawner. But when you combine all these things together, you get a better atmosphere for selling, especially when you tell people, yeah, you can't make offers. You have to bid on them. I'm saying that trying to keep a straight face on it, but it changes everything when you use that kind of language and stuff. And commissions, I don't know, you can do whatever you want to do there. Higher, lower, give it a go, whatever you want to do. So anyway, that I think really helps people understand what this is. It's a system for selling. As a platinum member, Craig Proctor system member, you can use the name RBid and you can market that you have this and you're an exclusive broker of it. It's 99 bucks. Okay, that helps pretty much manage the process and the site and everything. This ain't a moneymaker for Craig Proctor people by any means you can imagine. So, good job. That was a good question. And that's a lot of fun. I love saying, yeah, what are you doing? You can't make an offer. No, you got to bid. And as Rudy said, when people make the bids, we call them up and say, oh, we got to put your bid on some special paperwork. All right. And of course, that's a purchase and sell agreement. So, all right.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Rudy about that because that's an interesting thing to try, is to have them be able to upload attachments. Since they already have an account, it's easy enough to do, and we can test out that process.
Yeah, we get these weirdos, putting in these low offers, bids, we just, we treat them the same way. Sometimes people are just messing around, but it's a lead. Hey, you plan on making a move next 3 to 6 months? You want to make a real offer on this house, or what's your interest level? And, we got a buyer. So, all right, let's take another question.
So we have quite a few questions on how do you market this? How do people know? Specifically, how do you create the level of attendance needed for the RBID tour of homes? Just through MLS? What other successful forms are being used to increase the traffic?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if Rudy's still with us or not. If he is, he can jump on the call. Rudy? All right, so let's go back to our PowerPoint, and I'll try to help you guys out in terms of marketing this. As a matter of fact, if I go to craigparkercoaching.com, there's an RBID prospect plan, okay, process and some other things. So, but let's list out, okay, so let's do it this way to answer the question. Make your list right now of everywhere you would advertise a listing if there was no MLS. Okay? Let's make the list. Number one, your own website, pocket listing. You would put the listing there. You would run an ad on Google, paid ads on Google to drive traffic to your pocket listings. Okay, that's probably one thing you would do. You would put the property on your Facebook pages, business and personal. You would advertise it as a paid ad on lead ad pages or traffic ads and reach ads. Okay, you would put on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and Kijiji. There's a good chance you would put all of your properties onto a flyer and put them in an insert into your local papers. Direct mail, well, in and around an area, and I'm sure I'm leaving some other places off, quite a few. Make a list. Zillow, yep, somebody says Zillow coming soon. Okay, go for it. Okay, so so there's a few places that if you were to do that, you would, you know, and you could even say exclusive RBID home for sale, exclusive listing available. Some of you guys are doing this now, not in MLS, and selling some houses. Did Rudy get back with us now? No? Okay. All right.
Yeah, he dialed in just on the telephone, so I'm not quite sure. He's like a ghost participant. I can't really see him, so I don't know what's going on.
There you go. I like that. So
Rudy had an office meeting today, so he was kind enough to join us.
Yeah, he's doing an offsite. If everyone knows what that is, an offsite with his company. Okay, so there you go. So there's a list of ways to market and advertise. And then, of course, you can use MLS to market and advertise as well, which is pretty much just syndication. So there's a list. You market and advertise it. If we go back to the PowerPoint, and the stuff on the coaching site walks you through all of these various methods as well for doing it. Okay. Email was fairly young back in the day. So we get great traction with emailing this thing out to everybody and their brother, buying email lists and all kinds of stuff. You can see this is one that went to agents. We actually marketed them to real estate agents and paid them extra for it. So, all right, so there's a good list. I like that. And I'm sure some people have some other ideas as well. Okay, Rudy does a lot of signage in his marketplace. I do know that. Okay, a lot of signage, and he has a massive database of prospects that he blasts and markets to as well. Okay, and he leverages all of his other marketing. Remember, he said press releases, host parasite relationships, and joint ventures. Okay, so for example, if you've got a really good relationship with the dry cleaner in town, you push out your marketing to their database, and of course, you market them to you push market to their database, you push market them to your database. Okay, those are host parasite relationships and joint ventures that we talk about quite frequently here in the system. All right, so there you go. That's a pretty long list. Hopefully you mapped it all out. That will generate traffic. And remember, this is different than you advertising a regular listing. When you put a label on it like foreclosure or divorce sale or distress sale, right? Does it create more attention? Yes, that's what this is. Okay, for the average homeowner, RBID home for sale, and it creates that sort of perception. All right, good. Let's take another question here. Start to wrap this up.
Well, we have quite a few hands raised, and Vic has been asking if he could ask a question. So, Vic, I'm going to open your line so you can ask your audio question.
Thank you very much. My question is, Todd, at the time when you had a recession, and how did you approach the sellers to reduce the price? And maybe the sellers didn't want to reduce any price, you know? That's one question I have. My second question is, if somebody, there is a $750,000 property, we reduce it $600,000, we told the seller to create an auction. And if we got offers, but nothing came to 750, are we going to cancel the listing, or are we going to continue with it? You know?
Right. The bid deadline, it just rolled over every week. So no offers that were acceptable to the seller. You just continued on, just started over another week.
Okay. And how did you approach the sellers to reduce the price if it's already been listed with you?
So every home that we're putting on the market here was the seller can only sell the house for what he could sell it for. Okay, so if a prospect could not sell his home based on what market demands were, in other words, hey, look, Todd, I can sell it for 300. That's as low as I can go. Outside of that, I got to write a big check. I don't have the money, So if I can't get that, forget it. I just can't sell. I won't sell it right now at all. I don't need to. And let's say the market value on it was 250. Okay. Well, that's a pretty easy conversation. All right. Well, you best stay put then. See you. Can't help them. You just couldn't help. It's not like we can put 300 on it and sell it for 300 because, it says our bid on it. There's still reality that's involved. Okay. So that was it. And again, it was easy because nobody's home was selling. And you're talking about a big metropolitan marketplace here in Atlanta. And I come along and I'm the guy selling houses. Nobody else is except for the foreclosure guys. So you get the foreclosure guys, they're moving inventory like crazy. Craig and I have a conversation. This is what comes as a result of the conversation that we're talking about today. And it saved my bacon. We quit listing houses unless they needed to sell them. That was it. So it was an easy conversation. This is a pretty simple approach. There's dialogues on here, Vic. I think let's see where it is. Okay, you're the seller. All right, so Vic, we're the exclusive managing broker for our bid properties. Okay, so this is a system that's designed to create a greater perception of value for prospective buyers and real estate agents as well. Okay, and so getting a home certified by our bid not only gets it on that website, and we're of course managing broker for that in the area, but these are some of the other benefits that come along with it as well. Bullet point of benefits. Okay, Vic, so is this something that you think you may want to do as well? So you can position it as an option.
Well,
here's what's really cool, Vic.
Yeah, I want to sell my house $750.
Okay, well look at.
If you want to list at $600.
Yeah, well look at. It's worth $7.
Okay, I want to sell at $7.
Yeah, I don't know if that's my phone or your phone or connection breaking up, but look at. That's why we use our bid as the excuse. Yeah, our bid won't allow the properties to go into the system. They can't certify it unless it's 5% below market or 10% below market, unless it was, whatever. Like you get to use them as the reasoning excuse to help lower the price down. So we had sellers that wanted to put it in the system so bad they were lowering the price. I would just say, well, yeah, they won't allow it to go in, yeah. So it was easy. That's what I'm getting at. So again, we'll do some additional training on for everybody who wants to use our bid specifically. No problem. There's additional training on it. I'm hoping that everybody's taking away from this webinar just the overall strategy for selling things and creating more demand for properties and being something exclusive in your marketplace. As we move forward in 2019, I told everybody in Anaheim, our primary aim here is to create authority, even celebrity in your marketplace, so that you're the agent of choice over and above others in your marketplace. Everybody liked that idea. Everybody wants to do it. So, we're going to do it. This is a good part of that. Great job, Vic. All right, let's take one more question, Andrea. We'll land the plane.
You got it. Our final question is going to come from Carol Royce. Your line is open. Carol?
Tim, Carol, Vicky.
Nope, nothing back. Try with Tony Alushi. Your line is open. Tony. Tony typed in some questions, so I will go. He has one of the ones who wanted to know if it was in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
we answered all his other ones. So I'll go ahead and move Tony back. And then Hamira, I'm going to go try with you with your audio. Hamira Azizi.
Oh, yes, I just got my answer to the question. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, excellent. All right. So let's do this. Any further questions? I can look at them offline because we're out of time here, and everybody's. And it's more questions than we could in individual, small things. But look, if you guys are interested in using our bid, okay, great. Contact Shy, doneforyoutv@gmail.com. Okay. Don't use the Arbid name though, unless unless you're paying for it, because it won't work. The properties need to be on the website so you can point to it and use it to the leverage that you're really wanting to use. Okay. So just so you know. And outside of that, yes, you have been let in the door on great strategy for selling everything and creating a greater perception of value and demand around all the properties, and being exclusive in your marketplace, which will lead to more listings. If you're just like all the other agents, don't expect much. So the whole idea is to become more exclusive by copying the Craig Proctor system in its entirety. And it's a race to do that. So I want to remind everybody that we do have a conference coming up in Florida after the first of the year. It's not posted on the coaching site yet, but go ahead and write that down. Big conference coming up in Florida after the first of the year. You'll hear about it here over the next couple of weeks. And with that, I guess we'll wrap it up today. Shy, thank you so much for your help, buddy. You are the man. Thank you.
Anytime. Appreciate you having me on.
Mm-hmm. And Andrea, thank you. Doing a great job as always. I'm sorry to bombard you this weekend with all those emails.
Oh, no, I like to work. I wish I could have done more on Saturday, but I was busy with my baby shower, so I couldn't quite get to it. But send them on. I'll do it all. I love putting stuff in the file library.
Yep. So we sent out a lot of stuff for all the Platinum members in the file library. So, all right. So with this, going to wrap up today's session, guys. Great job. That was a lot of fun. And look forward to talking to you guys, not next week because that's the 5th week of the month, but the first Tuesday in November. Look for the promo and materials on that, and we're going to keep dialing this thing up. Again, our mission is to progress everyone towards their heart's desire. So if you're stuck, if your business is not progressing, if there's a problem, please reach out to me and or your coach, both of us, and let's see if we can change the outcome on that, okay? All right. So that's going to wrap up today's webinar. Go serve big. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Don't forget to take the survey. We're going to enter the questions tomorrow. Have some winners. This is the webinar for today.